That is, R.K. Lakshman has projected.
Okay, now here's a question, a personal question. At that time you were in your late 40s or mid 40s.
In 40s,
yeah. Politically, Mr. Mukherjee, people would say you had the world at your feet. You were powerful. Captains of industry were calling on you. You were the finance minister. You had even proved the IMF wrong. How did you keep your, how did you, at a more personal level, how did you keep your feet on the ground?
No, because
such circumstances, people's sense of hubris and ego can also overcome them. What was the personal challenge for you?
My personal challenge was, here I will just say my side failure story of that twice I was defeated in the general election, 1977, when of course everybody was,
yes.
And in 1980 also.
Yes.
So I had a feeling that perhaps people do not like me. That's why I cannot communicate to the people properly or things like that.
You actually thought so.
Therefore, I constantly tried to build up my relations with people. And as I told you that my background is village. And every year during the puja I go to my village home ancestor to participate in the ancestral puja. But that is one part. The greater part is I get lot of opportunities to mix with the people. Therefore I can to understand the problem of the people. It is not for me to read merely through the reports,
yeah.
But from my own experiences also I have seen. Therefore this has helped me to build up the rapport with the people later on, and subsequently
that actually made you an astute politician, because you were a fantastic administrator, a good finance minister, but you became a great politician, I think, in those Indira Gandhi years, because I'd like to talk to you about one or two of the challenges you faced. With India was going through different secessionist forces at that time. There were, of course, there were forces, separatist movements, there were regional movements. There was a strong regional movement in Assam, for example. I wonder if you remember something from your role in the Assam, Assam agitation days, when I think you played a critical role.
No, when the Assam agitation took place, then there were two extreme views. Naturally, the boys were agitating and they were saying that all Bengalis are infiltrators, Bengali-speaking people. Therefore, the slogan was detect, delete, and deport.
Yes.
Detect them, delete their name from the voters list, and thereafter you deport them. Now the problem becomes that many of the indigenous people, they speak Bengali, they have come through generations.
Sure.
And most of them have come from the other part of because it was undivided.
Yes.
Undivided India, undivided Bengal. And Assam also was closely linked with that. Sylhet was part of Assam.
Yes.
Sylhet, which is now part of Bangladesh, then East Pakistan, it was part of Assam, the biggest district of Assam. So all these problems were there. I thought that it should be, on the other hand, the young boys and girls were agitating and people were supporting. And they were genuine in their demands. There were infiltrations. But how to deal with it? So it was suggested that let there be a group of ministers to talk with the boys and their representatives. I was part of that. And here in this connection I must mention, I received great support from your uncle, Dinesh Goswamiji. He was a good friend of me from 1970s onwards.
Yes, I am aware.
A great friend of me. And he was also a part of the leader of the agitation, yes. But at the same time he has such a brilliant mind. And he told me that, Pranabda, we shall have to diffuse this issue. You cannot ignore it. You cannot keep it under carpet. We will have to address it. But at the same time in the overall broad national interest. So we were involved in that way. Unfortunately, we could not resolve the issue during Indiraji's lifetime, but after that it was possible for Rajiv to enter into accord in 1985, and which brought peace in Assam.
Everything you are saying now, I am relating to 20 years later, because you see, the same person who worked on diffusing the situation in Assam was 25 to 30 years later doing a complicated role in Telangana. You refused the role in Telangana. The same person who did diplomacy in, at that period representing India for the Mujib government in exile, was the same person who, as foreign minister, has had so many greats. I really think, your career spanning 3, 4 decades, 5 decades is a history of contemporary Indian history, actually. But now I want to understand the party man, the politician, the congressman. You have seen things through and through. In the 90s, early 90s were a difficult period, Mr. Mukherjee. The Congress party came down and down and down. I think it went down from 200 and something to 140, and it came down to 112. What was going on at that time? There was a sense of directionless as far as the party is concerned.
In fact,
after Rajiv Gandhi.
In fact, even before Rajivji's assassination, the hard, cold fact is that Congress's influence was going down. After the loss of Andhra and Karnataka in 1983, Indiraji was very much worried, because those were the two forces of Congress.
Yes, yes.
Even in revival of Congress in 1978, substantially due to these two states. But in 1983, we lost both Karnataka and Andhra. So she was worried. We were also worrying that declining influence of Congress. But assassination of Indiraji was almost how should I use it? Assassination of Indiraji had such a tremendous impact. Practically, it was almost shaking the whole nation, and question came: should our nation would remain together, or it would fragment into pieces? So from Himalaya to Kanyakumari, from Mizoram to Dwarka, all over the country people voted massively in favor of a young man who just took over, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi. So massive majority we got, but that was not the actual effective strength of Congress. That was the determination of the people to keep the country united, because they were shaken at the assassination of Indiraji, and thereafter the second thing was repeated after assassination of Rajivji.
Yes. Because
we were brought down from 415 to 195.
Yes.
But again, after the assassination of Rajivji, if you analyze the election results, which I did, and I found out that there was a remarkable change. And that's why we could get single party majority in 91 and could run the government up to 96. But thereafter, it started coming down. And that point of time, it was thought necessary that the leadership should be changed from P.V. Narasimha Rao to Sitaram Kesri to Soniaji. And after Soniaji took the leadership, then she also recognized the need of galvanizing the party and building up certain institutional arrangements, and particularly to unleash the thinking process in the party. She organized two conclaves. One is Pachmari conclave, another is Simla conclave, where free exchange of views on different issues, contemporary issues, were
in Pachmari. Let's Pachmari. Now we are 98. Pachmari. Would you say that it was in Pachmari that you really sort of emerged as sort of the intellectual and political pillar of the Congress party?
No.
Because it was there I think you shaped the declaration. You also announced the declaration. You were the spokesperson for the conclave. Simply put, how did you win her complete trust in 90?
What happened there, after she took over, then we are talking, but in fact in this room we made the plan how to get it constitutionally her elected, sitting with the members of the working committee. Anyway, but in Pachmari what happened, we were divided in different groups. One group was dealing political issues, another group was dealing economic issues, third group was dealing international issues. The third group I was co-convener with Narbar Singh ji. There I took a different, I did not know what approach they are having. I took a different approach, and there I went on, like as I was a teacher, I built up that type of teaching format, putting questions, getting answers, so it was interactive. I am told that she was impressed with this approach, and others, they were speech making. People are making their own observations, but I made it. So I think Nawal Kishorji was the general convener of Panchmari conclave. So it was thought, she asked Nawal Kishorji that now the declarations are to be drafted and prepared and announced. Nawal Kishorji also suggested my name to her. She said yes, it is okay. Then Moni Shankar and myself and a couple of others were involved. Then she told me, and she declared at the end, in her concluding speech, that now declaration will be released by Pranabji to the media, and he will interact.
So 1998 to 2012, really, you have been the pillar of the Congress party. At times, you took decisions which were risky. I go back to the element of risk. Tell me, Mr. Mukherjee, was it not risky for you to support the then NDA government? I think Murasali Maran was Commerce Minister, on WTO and GATT issues. I think it was in 2002 or 2003.
You know,
what was the backdrop?
No, I'm telling you,
because you were personally, there were a lot of critics.
Yeah,
there was a commission set up. With Murli Manohar Joshi.
I'm just explaining you the situation. 1995, talks were going on from Uruguay round about the establishment of WTO. But the then government could not, in between Vishwanath's government came, they could not finalize it. When P.V. Narasimha Rao became Prime Minister, he appointed a group of ministers under the chairmanship of Arjun Singh Ji to talk to the various political parties and to make recommendations.